And look who's coming to the Dragon's Lair today.
What's going on, guys? What you doing?
What's up, Big Chris?
Chilling, man. Another day, another dollar.
Are you awake?
Trying. Work nights.
We're gonna wake you up today, man.
I work nights, man. Gotta get that bread.
Are you working? What time? What time do you work?
I work 4 to 2. I work 10s.
Ah, dude,
Yeah,
that's
man.
why your hours are all over the place.
All over the place.
I never know when to text you because I don't know if he's at work. I don't know if he's working.
4 p.m.
Ah, dude.
Usually wake up around 12.
Yeah.
I'm good
So
then.
finally at the Dragon's Lair. So here's the deal. Flex has been waiting to meet you. He had to run to the store real quick, but he's coming back. He insurance coming back. We can't wait to have you here, man.
Most definitely looking forward to
We're
it.
gonna train with Eric today. We're gonna do some B-bill by Broser, some arms.
Okay.
You're prepping for the Cal. We're gonna talk to see what's been going on with you, man. You look big.
Thank you.
You excited?
Trying, man.
You're trying.
I'm trying.
Not living the life of a full-time bodybuilder. You're
Not
back
yet,
on the.
at least.
Yeah.
Not yet.
All right, let's get in there, man.
Yes, sir.
Good to have you. You go. You go. Big Chris. This is Merlin. I call him Merlin because he's magical. This is Chris Robinson. Yes.
We're fun today.
We're excited to have him. So, Chris, remind me, you won USA in 2020, right? 2020, a couple of years ago. That's right. And you were in California at the time,
Yes, sir.
and then you moved to Vegas.
No, I was in Vegas, actually.
You were always in Vegas? I thought you were living in
Vegas.
Cali.
I was
Oh.
in Vegas after I did the
I saw you compete in Cali.
Yes, I did.
The West
Riverside.
Coast? Or something? Oh, okay.
Yes, sir.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
I probably moved a couple months after that show.
Yes, I remember you moved. Yeah, you beat me to Vegas. Eric just moved here end of December. Yeah.
Everybody's moving
We're all
over.
coming
Yeah,
here.
good to be here. Champs live.
How big is the guy? I told you. Tall. Yeah.
I took a look at him, when you told me I was going to work with him today.
Yeah.
I wanted to see what was coming.
What you
So,
were-
I did some
research. Yeah. I did the same thing with him too. I sent him the video for him to watch you, so you couldn't know who you're about.
Right, so I'm like, okay, we got somebody, we got a big guy coming today.
Yeah,
so,
that's gonna be awesome.
Definitely have some fun.
Always great to have some new guests. We're glad to have you with man, with us. So Flex is gone. He's gonna come back. We're gonna have you sign in the what's it called that
Little waiver.
waiver, and we're gonna get started, and we'll talk. Okay.
Yeah, because you might get hurt.
Yeah, we don't want that. Arnold Amateur
Okay.
in Columbus.
He's about to win it.
So I'm glad to have those two because I'm always saying.
I'm going there to have fun, so I don't know.
I'm always telling how you guys could be like cousins or like I don't know. You're just like two big guys, you could be related.
Some way.
Yeah, man. Big, tall, 300 pounds. Yeah. So I'm glad I got them both on the same camera. Yeah. Awesome.
One of these days, train both of them.
Yeah, that'd make quite a video, those two together. Yeah. All right.
Okay, so the first exercise that we did for the bicep workout was we worked on a preacher curl machine here at the Dragon's Lair. And the technique that we used on this movement was 1.5 reps. So what I had Chris do was bring the weight under control to the top, get a good squeeze, and then he would lower the weight under control about halfway to the bottom, and then come back up for a second squeeze, and then return the weight all the way to the bottom. So it's 1 full rep with the squeeze, then a half rep with the squeeze. So we're really focusing on getting a really good contraction and basically getting a double contraction on every rep. This will give you an amazing burn, and it's a great way to start a bicep workout. Okay, so the second movement of the bicep workout, I wanted to move to a free weight movement. So we did an incline dumbbell curl, but not in the normal way. What we were doing is emphasizing the stretch. So when we emphasize the stretch, I set the bench back at around 60 degrees. As you can see, as he performs the movement, I have him rotate the wrists outward, and this helps to increase the stretch on the biceps. I also have Chris hold his chest up high. Again, this is to increase the stretch. So what we're doing is we're holding the stretch at the bottom of the movement for about 4 full seconds, and then under control, coming up to the top, squeezing for about a second at the top, and then again lowering under control until we get to a full stretch and holding it for 4 seconds. The key to the movement, again, is keeping the chest up high and keeping the wrists turned outward, because this will give you a stretch all the way from the shoulder joint to the elbow, and that's what we're focused on in this movement. That stretch under tension is fantastic for growth. It causes a lot of fiber trauma, and give this a shot. Just do not go too heavy. This is not a movement you want to go too heavy on. Just want to use light weights under control. Okay, for the third movement of the bicep workout, I moved into using some cables. Grab the incline bench, set it at about maybe 70 degrees or so. And as you can see, I had Chris not sit on the bench in the normal style. He kind of was like half standing with the knees bent, kind of just sitting on the top of the bench a little bit, and grabbing the straight bar from the low pulley. He's leaned back just a little bit. And what we're doing on this movement is we're going to do a controlled concentric to the top, a 1 second squeeze, but we're going to really work the negative on this movement, so about 4 to 5 seconds is going to control the weight on the way down. You couldn't hear me, but when I was talking to him, what I was really telling him to focus on when he was doing the negative is to really kind of feel the bicep from that contracted point kind of stretching all the way to the bottom, so he'd feel the entire movement. A great movement for the biceps. Okay, so I wanted to finish this workout with a superset, really fill the biceps with a lot of blood, big burn at the end, and just really burn it out to finish the workout. So what I did was I combined a cable movement and a free weight movement. This is a cable overhead curl lying down on a bench. The key to the movement here is to make sure you do a full range of motion, so his arms are out straight at the beginning. A controlled squeeze to the top of the movement, holding that for about 1 second, and a controlled negative. We're not stopping in any portion of the rep like we were on the other movements. We just use a good controlled form throughout. And then what we do is we're going to switch from there, once he reaches failure, into a seated bicep curl. So it's really only the top 2/3 of the rep. So he's seated on the bench, and he's just doing that top 2/3. He's moving the weight under control, not too fast, not too slow, just going for a big burn and just burning out the biceps to finish the workout. This half rep movement is a great way to finish.
I'm messing with my coach. The week is my coach. Dave Clinton. I was there a couple months ago. What's up? What's up with you? Run a little bit. What's up?
I'm on cable tell you.
I know.
I walk away from it. Do these fucking things any bigger?
Wait till you see the video.
3 inches.
Wait till you see the video.
What, you just with this arm today? What else? What's the next thing?
Ready for the count.
Yeah.
My first one. What's up?
Excited?
Yeah, man. I'll make it happen.
So you live in Vegas, right?
Yes, sir. I live right in the street.
Nice.
I work at Avis, right corner. You need a run call, I'll have me.
He's the one I told you about, Ali.
You said me, not you.
I no. We know what we're talking about.
Okay, so for the triceps routine, we started off with a seated overhead tricep machine at the Dragon's Lair. I love this movement. Feels incredible. So if you come here, make sure you use this machine. What we did on this movement is we focused on the stretch portion of the rep. So as you can see, Chris is lowering the weight under control. He's holding the bottom of the rep. I'm actually counting for him for 4 full seconds, really focusing on stretching out the tricep all the way from the armpit down to the elbow. And then from there, he's pushing up to the top, but I tell him to muscle the weight to the top. Don't throw it. So he's really contracting the triceps to bring it up to the top. He's holding the top portion of the rep for about 1 second, getting that good squeeze. And then he's under control, lowering to the bottom until he gets to that full stretch. And what we did on this movement is I decided to throw in and make it a drop set. So after he reached failure, holding those stretches, I had him drop the weight by about 20-30 pounds. And then we just went for as many reps as we possibly could. I think he got maybe 15 to 20. We just wanted to fill the tricep with blood, just get a great pump, a great burn. So between that full stretch at the first portion of the movement and that big pump at the end of the movement, this is a tricep scorch, and it'll really give some growth that you'll be looking for in the triceps. Okay, so for the next movement, I moved into the Merlin close grip bench press. I use this in almost every single tricep workout because it's just such an effective movement, and when I introduce this movement, especially to even the pros, they just love this movement as compared to the normal close grip bench press. So as you can see, he's rotating the hands so that the elbows are coming out to the sides. This is a very unusual way of holding the bar, but it really takes the chest and the shoulders out of the movement to a very, very large degree. He's only using 135 pounds on here because it's a very difficult movement. He's lowering the weight under about 4 seconds. He's getting to the bottom, and then when he pushes to the top, I really reminded him to make sure that he's pushing out with the triceps and leaving the chest and the shoulders out of it. Chris absolutely loved this movement, and even though he's strong as a house, this guy, 135 pounds was very, very tough for him in this movement. Give this a try if you want bigger triceps. Okay, so again, I wanted to finish the workout with a superset. One of the reasons why I do this a lot of times is when we're doing a lot of these tension techniques where we, emphasizing the stretch and the negative, it causes a lot of fiber trauma. So there's some damage to the actual muscle cells, which is good because we want those muscle cells to repair, which actually causes them to grow larger. But one of the great things to do is to finish off the workout with a tremendous pump, because we want to force a lot of blood, oxygen, and nutrients into the muscle after those fibers have been damaged. So a superset's a great way to do it. I started off with what I call the Merlin tricep push-outs. So as you can see, it's done on an incline bench set at about 50, 60 degrees. And it's sort of in between a hybrid movement in between a push down and a tricep extension. You can see where his elbows are held in position for the entire time, so he's actually pushing the bar out in front of him and squeezing and holding the triceps in that position before a controlled negative. As you can see, those elbows are not moving out of position. They're stuck right where they are. They stay there their entire time. He gets a full stretch, full range of motion, and again presses out until he gets a really good squeeze at the bottom of the movement. This is a great exercise if you haven't tried it before, because like I said, it's a hybrid movement. After this, we move into a rope push down, as you can see, and in this one, we're using a little bit quicker form. We want to get a lot of blood into the muscle. We want to just basically burn out the triceps, so we're getting many reps as we possibly can with a little bit of lighter weight. Again, though, he's still squeezing and contracting and making sure that he's using only the triceps in this movement. Give this superset a try if you want to finish a workout with a tremendous burn.
Big Chris,
Yes, sir.
Mr. 2020 USA. It's good to have you back on the channel, dude.
Thank you for having me.
It's been a minute.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it.
How long has it been?
A couple months.
A couple months. Last year we filmed at Fit Club.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Long
That was a long time ago.
About a few months.
Too long. I wanted to have you back, and we're always looking for a good guest to get on the show and stuff, and you popped into my mind for other reasons, and I told Eric, I said, you got to make Chris. He just moved here, so I think it was good. But I wanted to talk to you about how you felt. I sent you a couple of videos of Eric's, training, just to kind of see what you were getting into before you got here. So you watched the videos and stuff, but did you have any preconceived idea of what did you expect before you came here today? Did you have like an open mind, or what were you expecting?
One thing I've noticed about bodybuilding is that I always try to keep an open mind no matter who I meet, whether it's an amateur or somebody who's trying to get to my level or somebody who's working towards a goal. I think keeping an open mind is the best way to learn. And I can say from training with Eric today, I'm going to pull him to the side and see what I can do to get training with him regularly.
Well, give me your impressions. First time you ever trained with us, and it was great energy today. It's always interesting to work with guests because it's always different from one guest to the next.
Yeah,
and sometimes it clicks, and sometimes it doesn't. And I thought today was great to have you with us. But tell me your impression on the workout today.
I would say tension. The whole entire time under tension. I think that the negatives were focused more on the positives. Of course, tearing the muscle is the true way to have it grow.
Yeah.
So I would say that most definitely. I've tried some different movements today I've never tried before. My biceps are pumped. Eric said he wanted to leave me hurting, so he did that most definitely.
Most important question: did you have fun?
Yes, sir.
That was fun
Most
today.
definitely.
That was a lot of fun for us too.
Oh,
Tell me what you felt about training this guy. I talked to you for a while about Chris, and it just never coincided. But today was a good day. What did you feel about the workout?
Well, I mean, I never met Chris before. You just told me he was a good guy, whatever. And I trust your word. But like you said, you never know, how things are going to click. Sometimes they click great. Sometimes they're a little awkward. You never know. But as the second that Chris walked in the door, I could just tell his personality, easygoing.
And he was tired today.
I could tell he was tired when he walked in, which worried me a little bit. But just, the way he carries himself, like a gentleman, respect. I mean, I just love that. He ended up figuring out right away. He's like, "You from the East Coast?" He just got it by my accent. I was like, "Yeah, Brooklyn." He's like, "Yeah, me too." So I didn't know that. I always do well with East Coasters. But the main thing is what he just said. You got to come in with an open mind. My training techniques and the way that I train people, I do not believe in just lifting weights from the point A to point B. I don't believe that that's the way to progress forever. Lifting heavier weights, I've said many times, is great, but strength is finite, so eventually you're not going to get any stronger. Eventually your joints are it's going to take the toll. So you got to figure out new ways to grow. So that's what I try to bring to the table: new movements, new techniques, time under tension. I don't care what weight. You'll see that a lot of the weights that he used, and he's a big, huge, strong guy, were very moderate because of the way we did, the training. So his mind was open. He just said, "Hey," right from the beginning, he said, "You direct me, just tell me what to do, and I'll do it." And he did it, and he really paid attention to what I told him to do. If I said,
"Great control,"
I want you to hold
the whole
it for
time.
4 seconds, because a lot of times, especially when you train a lot of pros, they're used to doing what they do, and obviously they're pros. I mean, I can't say to them, "Well, that didn't work."
They're good.
Pro.
Yeah, they're good.
It doesn't mean that they can't get better, but a lot of times they have trouble holding the stretch because they don't want to
go
use
too
less
fast
weights or whatever.
Yeah.
But he really absorbed the techniques and held the stretches. He held the negative. He did everything that I asked him to do. His technique was flawless.
Yeah.
So great energy, great workout from beginning to end. I thoroughly enjoyed myself and had a great time training.
I think you can tell when people already have a good work ethic. And even though I've never seen him really train before, except when we film, obviously he does full range of motion and all that stuff. So it's not like he's a sloppy trainer. You can tell already.
Right. That makes it difficult if someone's a sloppy trainer because that's the first thing I gotta get out of them.
Yeah.
So I knew that I could see his form was good right away. But you never know how they're gonna handle the techniques and whether they're gonna be able to hold. A lot of times they'll say hold for 4 or 5 seconds and they hold it for 2 seconds. They don't do it.
Yeah.
But Chris he nailed everything and he loved a couple of the new movements that I showed him.
That's always fun.
Taking them with me.
That's always fun.
Yeah, and because I could, you could just see him. He's like, you could tell he felt it, and that's always so satisfying to me when I can give somebody something that they haven't done before. They can hit new muscle fibers because
makes them excited again.
Yeah, gets them excited again, and it makes them realize, hey man, there's things I could do to improve. I want to see him go on stage and kill this show.
Yeah, man. Chris, let's talk about the contest. So we're doing a Cal. You're doing a Cal. First show. So that's going to be your first show since you got your pro card in 2020. Of course, everything kind of got screwed up because of stupid COVID. So, are you excited about it?
More than excited. I'm ready to get the show on the road. Started the pre-prep, cleaned up my diet a little bit. No more fast food. Thinking we're going to start a long prep, probably 18 weeks.
Okay.
Ease into it, go nice and slow.
You still work with Dave Calic, which we know, of course.
Yes, sir. He's the man with the plan.
He's the man with the plan.
And Stan McQuaid would be my opposing coach.
Yeah, Stan, he's great. We love Stan. Stan the man. Yeah, awesome. What was I going to say? You had the chance to meet Flex. He was actually not feeling good today because I made sure before you came here, Flex, you need to be here. Will you train on that day? Yes. And then he's leaving and he's coming back, but he was going to go home. And he said, "Oh my God, I got to meet Chris." So he actually took the time to come back to say hi, and he was excited to meet you. And you belong here, don't you feel?
Yes, sir.
A bunch of champions here,
man.
right? This is where you belong, man.
Yeah, man.
That's awesome. We love it. Well, Chris, I really appreciate you coming on the Be Built by Rozo today. Thanks for the workout. We hope to see him again.
I saw him before
the Cal?
He's somebody that I could that I can help, and I hope that I get the opportunity to do so, especially with the contributing factor maybe with Dave.
Yeah,
his amazing.
He's
diet,
got all the tools to be
amazing
great.
closing. If I could help with some training, that'd be great.
Awesome.
But he's welcome anytime because it was a great workout. I had I had a great workout myself.
Yeah, it was fun.
Just from his energy.
It was fun. Yeah.
So,
We'll hope to have you back, man.
thank you.
All right. Okay, man. Thanks. Ask Merlin Monday, even though it's Tuesday.
Even though it's Tuesday. But the question came in on a Monday.
Okay, that's cool.
So it's all good.
What do you got today?
So I got this question, which ties into I think today's workout a lot. Somebody asked me, he said, is there any reason why the older I get, the less sore I get after training?
Really?
All through my years of training from high school, all the way up until a few years ago, whatever body part I trained would be sore for 24 to 48 hours. Now I almost never get sore, and I still feel like I'm training, heavy, hard, and intense.
Holy shit. I'm sore all the time.
That's because you train with me.
I know.
Not everybody does that. So I think that question is relevant to the way we train today because I actually answered this question for him very briefly on my Facebook page, and what I basically said was that a lot of the methods that people use, people fall into
a rut.
They train. They usually, after a while, they find a pool of exercises that they always use. A lot of times they do them in the same order. They usually find a rep range that they find pretty comfortable. Maybe it's always 8 to 12 or 6 to 8, whatever it is. People that don't tend to change up tempos, they may do some little different things here and there, throw in a superset or whatever, but I find that most people, and that doesn't mean they're not training hard. I mean, a lot of people still go to the gym and they're focused and they train hard and they still lift heavy weights and they're tired when they get out, but truth of the matter is you have to remember that the human body is like an incredible machine. It's extremely, it's able to adapt to stress in incredible ways, and basically training is a stress. So if when you first start out training, obviously everything you do is new. So just lifting a weight, 20 pounds you've never lifted before, you might get sore from that. Then you go through your first few years of training, you get stronger, so it's still kind of novel that you're getting stronger. But once you've been training for a while, 5-10 years, if you're still kind of doing the same thing, your body adapts to it, and then it's no longer a challenge. So even though you're in the gym and you're pushing to failure, you're still lifting maybe the same weights you were, it's not new, it's not novel, it's not enough to cause muscle damage anymore because your body's become resilient. And that's what as humans, that's what we're made to do. We're made to adapt. We're made to adapt to, if people live in, very, very cold weather conditions all the time, their body learns to adapt to that, or heat, or dryness, or whatever. And it's just, again, the same thing with the gym. So what I would say to actually, his name is Steve, is you have to start doing different things. You have to think outside the box. You have to really get far away from what you have been doing for the last 5-10 years to get your body to go, in a sense, like, wow, that's different, this hurts, or to tear down muscle fibers. So that can mean a lot of things. That can mean completely changing your exercises that you're using, trying new movements, trying new angles of the same movements. If you're used to doing incline flies at 45 degrees, try them at 60 degrees, try them at 30 degrees. If you're used to bench pressing and bringing the bar down to the lower chest, bring it to the upper chest. Try some new machines you've never done before. Do some of the things like you see in this video today, where you're holding the stretch for 45 seconds, or you're holding the squeeze, but you're using 4 to 5 second negatives. You have to basically start doing things that you have not been doing if you want your body to begin to react again. And the longer you've been training, the more often you have to change your methodology. If you've just been training for a couple years, you might be able to use the same program for like 6 weeks before switching to something different. But if you've been training, 10 years, you've been in the gym for a lot long, you're a very, very advanced trainer, and you may have to start doing new things every single week, which is what I do in my training with Dave and a lot of my clients. So basically my answer to you is that change things up, new exercises, new rep ranges, new tempos, change the body part splits, change the volume a little bit. Make these changes, and I guarantee you'll start to get sore again. And just try to do this every single week. Be creative, and you'll start to get, not only you'll get sore again, you'll probably see some new muscle growth, and that's how you got to keep doing it.
Awesome. Thanks, Merlin.
You got it.